Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Tat Sadite Srimad Bhagavad Gita Upanishasto Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishnarjun Samvade Kshetra Kshetragya Vibhaga Yogo Namatrayo Dashodhyayah. Hari Om Tat Sat, Hari Om Tat Sat, Hari Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna
Thank
Mataji.
you so much, Yashamati Madhya. Very, very beautiful recitation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Srimati Mataji. Very, very beautiful chanting.
Thank you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all glories to all the devotees. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda की जय. नामाचार्य शिल हरिदास ठाकुर की जय. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. श्री गुरु महाराज की जय. All glories to the assembled devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. This is Yashamati Priya Devi Dasi from Chicago. Once again, welcoming all of you to the mid-morning japa session. I thank all of you for attending this session and giving your beautiful association and time. Please forgive me for interrupting your ecstatic chanting. So let us move to our next part of the session, which is Sri Caitanya Bhagavat. But before we start our session, may I know who all have joined the call this morning?
Hare Krishna, Yashamati Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Thank you for your warm welcoming and the beautiful recitation of Bhagavad Gita. This is Preeti Vilasini Devidasi from Atlanta. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Priti Vilasini Devidasi Mataji, Dandvat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga, all glories to Sri Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining and very grateful to your services. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Yashamati Mataji. Dandot pranams to you, Dandot pranams to all devotees here. Jai Srila Prabhupada, Sumi from Chennai, India.
Hare Krishna, Sumi Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Sri Guru Maharaj, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining every single day. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dhanavad pranams. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Humble Vaishnavas. This is Kirti Dasundari Dasi, and thank you so much for your wonderful recitation, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Kirti Dasundari Devidasi Mataji, Danvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Sri Guru Maharaj, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining every single day, and all glories to your services, Mataji. Hare Krishna, always grateful to you.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandvat Pranam to you and all Vaishnava. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki Jai. Brinda.
Hare Krishna Vrinda Gopika Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Sri Guru Maharaj, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining and giving your beautiful association every single day and chanting very beautifully. Hare Krishna. Is there anybody else in the call who would like to introduce themselves?
Hare Krishna, Dhanva Pranam Mataji. This is Priyamada Radha Priya from Canada.
Hare Krishna Premada Radha Priya Mataji. Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga, all glories to Sri Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining every single day and giving your beautiful association. Hare Krishna. So, welcome to Bhakti Sangha Japa group. Before we start our today's session, I would like to read today's Srila Prabhupada's quote from August 29. Yeah. The principle should be that we utilize our talents for the service of the Lord. That is real sannyasa. Formal acceptance of sannyasa as required for all old men means that one should retire from materialistic life and devote his time and energy for the service of the Lord. Srila Prabhupada, letter to Hayagriva, August 29th. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Maharaj ki Jai. So, once again, thank you all, dear devotees. Today we are fortunate to have His Grace Ramgiridhari Das Prabhuji on the topic of Sri Caitanya Bhagavata Madhya Khand, verses 312 onwards. And thank you very much, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Sri Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for giving your very valuable time and association to us this morning and enlightening us on this topic of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, glory of our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Jagai Mahayana. I now hand over call to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. I think Prabhuji is not joined yet. Hare Krishna, Krishna.
He'll be here in 2-3 minutes. So we'll just continue to wait. And then once he comes, we can get started.
Yeah. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram,
Hare
Hare.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Welcome to the Bhakti Sangha Japa group. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Sri Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for giving your very valuable time and association to us this morning and enlightening us on this topic of Sri Caitanya Bhagavat. Now I hand over call to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, and I'm sorry that I'm a bit late. I had to got stuck in some. So we'll start with invocation. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So, reading from Sri Caitanya Bhagavata Madhya, chapter 13, text number 312. Nindayana bhade dharma sabe papa laba ete kana kare ninda saba mahabhaga. Blasphemy does not enhance one's religious principles. It only results in sin. That is why fortunate souls do not engage in blasphemy. Commentary by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. The devotees of the Lord do not blaspheme anyone in this world. One who blasphemes others is known as sinful or irreligious. To attribute on someone faults that are not present is called blasphemy. Being induced by irrelevant goals, those who are unable to tolerate the glorification of others and with the desire to attack them unfairly, attributes faults on them, continually meet with inauspiciousness day after day. A person who, out of envy, attributes faults on an irreproachable Vaishnava must go to the hell known as Kumbhipaka and suffer severe miseries. Those sinful persons who cannot understand that Sarva Maha Guna Gana Vaishnava Sharire, all good qualities are present in the body of a Vaishnava, and who consider that non-Vaishnavas are equal to Vaishnava can never achieve any benefit. To criticize the behavior of non-devotees is called Sad Upadesha or good instruction. Other than devotional service to Vishnu, all activities of the living entities are condemnable. Sinful people often engage in abominable activities on the pretext of devotional service to Vishnu. Instructions to give up these activities should not be called ninda or blasphemy. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Menam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedantam Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityanandam Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrindam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we are the chapter the deliverance of Jagai and Madai, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had just delivered Jagai and Madai, and then everyone is in transcendental ecstasy. Jagai and Madai can be delivered was not even in anyone's agenda, because everyone literally gave up on them. Even though they were born in a Brahmana family, everyone almost gave up on them. So much so that nobody wanted to even go closer to such a person. And because of the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, now Jagai and Madai are delivered. Not only delivered, they have become Vaishnavas. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally made the statement saying that all the sinful effects, all the sins that they had committed, he has completely cleansed them, and now they are as good as any other Vaishnavas. That's the exact statement that Mahaprabhu says. They are as good as any other Vaishnavas. So the potency of Mahaprabhu's transcendental mercy is such that the Naradama, the lowest amongst the mankind, can also become Narottama. Even though Jagai and Madai were born to a Brahmin family, they literally gave up all the qualities of a Brahmana and became lowest amongst. much worse than Shudra and Chandala. They became to an extent that they have practically given up on their religious, spiritual sentiments. And after explaining this pastime, Vrindavan Das Thakura says that now that they have become a Vaishnava, one need to be careful and should not carry any grudges against them. In Nectar of Instruction, Rupa Goswami is explaining in verse number 6 how one should learn not to commit any offense towards Vaishnava. It is explained that anyone who commits an offense towards a Vaishnava, he will be severely punished. So, Mahaprabhu has very nicely made this statement. The statement that he has made is Anindaka hoi je, Sakrit Krishna bhaje, Satya Satya muhi tare, Uddharilo hele. So this is again from Caitanya Bhagavata. Anindaka hoi je. So the statement here is that if anyone is free from ninda, if anyone is completely free from blaspheming on a Vaishnava, and he is able to constantly chant the holy name of the Lord, Satya Satya muhi tare, Uddharilo hele. I promise, I deliver that Vaishnava. This is a statement of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Only two requests. No ninda, constant chanting of the holy name of the Lord. So, after explaining the pastimes of Jagai and Madai, Vrindavan Das Thakura is explaining about the importance of refraining from blaspheming a Vaishnava. So we are going to discuss this particular verse in little bit of detail, because our entire stake of Krishna consciousness is associated with that. In the commentary, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura says that a person can be pushed to a hell known as Kumbhi Paka if he commits a offense towards a Vaishnava. So, we are going to discuss this context into some set of reflections. Because if blasphemy is not even going to enhance somebody's religious principles, how will it even contribute towards spirituality? So the first reflection that we will discuss today is about the root cause of someone who commits such a heinous act. In the future verses, Krishna, Vrindavan Das Thakura is going to explain them. So the root cause of someone trying to behave in a most reckless, irresponsible manner is about that one quality called ahankara, pride. So this pride makes us unqualified for any service. If someone is proud, he cannot be classified, he cannot be considered for any service of the Lord. And because of someone being proud, he finds faults at others and eventually stoop too low. So we will discuss as a first reflection about 3 classifications of pride. The reason why we are discussing this is that we also need to always analyze the root cause of all our problem so that we can address them at the root level so that we can eventually be free from such a propensity. This Kali Yuga is considered as the age of quarrel and hypocrisy. And blasphemy is one byproduct of hypocrisy. If Kali wants to disrupt our devotional life, if Kali wants to derail us from our Krishna consciousness, if Kali wants to stop our devotional progress, Kali will make us offend, criticize, blaspheme a Vaishnava by bringing in this quality of pride within ourselves. So this pride is classified into 3 divisions or 3 gradations. Number 1 is called mada, which means the state of being intoxicated. And this stage of pride, this stage of being proud, makes a person to dwell upon his good qualities, apparent good qualities. A person with this virus called mada will be suffering from a disorder called superiority complex. A person with this characteristics of mada, which is the grade 1 of someone's being proud, he will be self-centered. He will have this nature of being always considering him superior. The superiority complex, him being the best, him being the right, him being the guide to someone. So he'll be filled with so much of head-weightedness that in that state of intoxication, he sees everything around, everyone around with faults. The second stage of pride, if somebody doesn't address at this stage itself, then the pride in a person gets further worsened to level 2 stage called drishta, which means impudence. So at the stage of intoxication, mada, he is self-obsessed. He is so much thinking about how great he is. thinking superior about himself and thinking everybody else is subordinate or junior or fallen than him. When it is not handled at that stage, he goes one step further to start showing disrespect towards anyone, and that stage of pride is called drishta, which is translated as impudence, arrogance. And that stage of pride is not at all good for someone's devotional life. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's warning is, unless and otherwise we perform our devotional service with a humble state of mind, unless and otherwise we perform our devotional service in a state of mind to be respectful towards everyone, we will all commit a very heinous and grave offense of being disrespectful towards others. And if somebody is not able to check their pride at that level of drishta, then the third stage of pride is called uddanda. Uddanda means pushing oneself forward. At the stage of intoxication, he was thinking himself superior. At the stage of uddanda, he acts on them. He snubs everybody down, push himself forward, keeps him the center of focus, make him as a worshipable personality, have followers around him to say Jai Jaikar, like the way Hiranyakashipu, the way all the demons, they try to, put themselves into the forefront. So my first reflection is to address this root cause of someone's mentality for being a fault finder, blaspheming a Vaishnava, is this quality of pride. Mada, drishta, uddanda. The state of being intoxicated, the state of being impudent, and the state of pushing oneself forward and having everyone glorify himself. We have shared this story several times, but I'll once again, to this context, repeat that story of Dronacharya calling Duryodhana and Yudhishthira Maharaja on the last day of the training. When the training got over, he called both the brothers and asked for Guru Dakshina, saying that, boys, now that your training is over, please give my Guru Dakshina. Both of them dutifully said, Gurudev, anything for you. And Dronacharya said to Yudhishthira Maharaj, please find one person who is lower than you, fallen than you, and bring him to me. And he turned towards Duryodhana and said that, please get me one person who is better than you, superior than you. And both of them said, we will come back in a week's time with your Guru Dakshina, Gurudev. After 1 week, they both came empty-handed. Dronacharya asked, what happened? Duryodhana said, my dear Gurudev, wherever I went, whomever I saw, they were all fallen than me, and I couldn't find one person who is superior to me. Okay? Yudhishthira, what about you? Said, Gurudev, wherever I went, whomever I saw, they were all so wonderful and superior to me in than my consciousness. I couldn't find one person who is fallen than me. I'm the most fallen. Dronacharya said, don't worry, boys. I will solve your problem right now. He turned towards Duryodhana and said, hey, Duryodhana, you see this? Yudhishthira, he is your candidate. He is far superior than you. And my dear Yudhishthira, look at Duryodhana. He is the candidate that you should have brought. He is the one who is fallen than you in consciousness. The whole message here is that how one considers himself in connection with this world, with the sense objects around, with the Supreme Lord and its own existence defines if he is a sadhaka, a sadhu, a Mahabhagavata, or a demon. So, to conclude our first reflection, the propensity to commit sinful activities, the propensity to find fault, the propensity to be to blaspheme a devotee comes from this quality of pride, which is classified into Mada, Drishta, and Uddanda. The second reflection. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that Anindaka hoy jay, he said, please don't commit any ninda. We need to understand it's a forewarning. What is this forewarning? When we all, as practicing devotees, when we all start to chant the holy name of the Lord, the unwanted things in our heart, the dirt in our heart, the kachara, the kleshas in our heart are going to come out. That is why in our 9 stages of Shraddha to Prema, there is a stage called Anartha Nivritti. This Anartha Nivritti stage is a very interesting stage because that's when the dirt in the heart, the gross dirt in the heart, which we have acquired over several lifetimes, is going to get cleansed. Madhurya Kadambini explains the dirt in the heart in a very scientific manner. Especially the whole Anartha Nivritti stages are explained in a very scientific manner. He says, a person has acquired anartha because of 4 things. Anartha or something that which is not meaningful has got into someone's heart because of 4 different reasons. Number 1 is because of previous sins. Dushkritota. Number 2, it is because of previous pious activities. Sukritota. Number 3, it is because of committing offenses. Aparadota. And number 4, it is because of the byproducts of devotion. Bhaktyatota. So the reason why we are discussing is this. If for some reason we are handling our pride by our sincere devotional endeavor, which is the important factor that Krishna explains in third chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Ahankara vimudatma kartaham iti manyate. If somehow or other, if you have managed the first reflection effectively, you have to handle the second part as a part of our purificatory process. So when Vrindavan Das Thakura is explaining, beware of Vaishnava Ninda, it is to also forewarn that as you progress in Krishna consciousness, because of the past accumulated viruses as a part of our anartha nivritti, we may accidentally, inadvertently, because of the conditioning that we were in, we might commit this heinous act of blasphemy. This dushkrutota, the previous sins, we do not know what all sinful activities that we have done in the past. I'm sure this process of chanting the holy name of the Lord is the only way by which we can be purified of all the sins. And as we are chanting, we get purified and these dirt go away. But when we are in that phase of transition, we have to be a bit careful not to get carried away. So, ignorance, false ego or material conception, attachment, hatred, and absorbed in bodily nature are the 5 aspects of previous sinful propensity. Ignorance is because of previous sin. False ego or having a conception which is completely materially dominated is because of our previous acquired sinful activities. Attachment towards sense objects, hatred towards people and sense objects, and being bodily consciously situated, they are all result of our previous sins, which might also trigger us to, blaspheme a person. So hence, my second reflection is to say that as a sadhaka, when we are going through anartha nivritti, as a sadhaka, when we are performing Vaidhi sadhana bhakti, we need to make sure we guard our bhakti lata, we guard our consciousness with some wonderful association so that the propensity, the conditioning because of the past sins or past any of the actions doesn't come out and harm the bhakti lata beach. So my second reflection is to say that Sukritota, Dushkritota, Apradota, Bhaktyadota are the 4 different sources by which somebody's anartha can get accumulated. Even Bhaktyadota, even Bhakti has got a byproduct. You get name, fame, credit, followers, facilities, position. Of course, if you further drill down, you'll go back to the first reflection, which is proud, being pride. So the idea is that we are dissecting this whole aspect of blasphemy towards a Vaishnava so that we can carefully avoid them. This is the second reflection. The third reflection is about what Srila Prabhupada explains in Nectar of Instructions as 7 possible offenses against a devotee. In a sense, how all we can commit this ninda. Because sometimes we don't even realize that we have criticized. This criticism has become our integral nature. For somebody, it is the first nature that they tend to criticize. So, Nectar of Instruction explains 7 possible offenses, 7 possible ninda towards a practicing devotee. Number 1 is criticizing someone because of bodily defects. Number 2, criticizing someone based on someone's birth. Number 3, seeing a devotee with a material vision, thinking that he is within a boundary that he cannot practice beyond certain stages in devotional life. Number 4, being envious towards a practicing devotee. Number 5, to offer advice to a devotee who is superior to us in spiritual stature. Number 6 is to correct a devotee's mistake. Here, devotee refers to those who are initiated, senior than us. And last but not least is to subject to disciplinary action. So the idea here is that, as a reflection that I want to highlight, that sometimes we may justify our act as devotional act, as Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes in this purport. We may justify our act as devotional act, but we need to make sure that we are very carefully analyzing them and try to eliminate this propensity. Because we, as Prabhupada explains in the 3rd canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, we may tend to become a victim of Maryada Yatikrama. We may tend to disrespect a Vaishnava for, a very simple, observation or something which is very, very gross. In Skanda Purana also, they have given some explanation on Vaishnava Ninda, saying killing a devotee, blasphemy of a devotee, enviousness towards a devotee, failing to offer obeisances to a Vaishnava upon seeing them, becoming angry with the Vaishnava, and even to an extent, not becoming joyful upon seeing a Vaishnava. They are all listed as, Vaishnava Aparad. So these lists of things that we are listing here is just to warn us that don't think that blasphemy has to be really some sort of a grave thing. Even some inadvertent and superficial dealing with a Vaishnava can as well turn to be a ninda, which the Lord may not like. So my third reflection here is to say the 7 possible Vaishnava ninda, and as an additional notes, the points from Skanda Purana, which says that we need to be careful about our conduct, our behavior towards a practicing devotee. The last reflection in this current context is about the converse of this. If we are supposed to fix ourselves from this propensity, then what is that is expected of us? And that is very clearly established, which is about offering respects to every jiva. We are not supposed to discriminate for offering our respects. For learning from someone, we can discriminate. For obeying someone, for following someone, we can discriminate, we have to discriminate. But for offering respects towards a living entity, we are not supposed to discriminate, because every living entity is part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. That is why a learned Brahmana is Samadarshina. He sees everyone equally as part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So if we have to be free from this propensity of ninda, which unfortunately we are surrounded by such people. So instead of becoming victim of passive influence, even staying around those who are committing criticism is also going to influence us. You may not be proud. You may be clean from your past sinful propensities. You may have carefully avoided all those 7 possible offenses. But if we are not careful enough in our surroundings, if we are overhearing, if we are trying to be closer to those who are criticizing a Vaishnava, we are also responsible. We are also supposed to face the consequences. So to counteract that, amanina manadena. That is why offering respects is something, is the very important Vaishnava culture. You do not need to have any reasoning. In Caitanya Sikshamrita, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is listing 8 categories of respect in terms of onward gradation. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that right from a cannibal, even to the extent of a Mahabhagavata, every individual living entity is to be respected. So he is listing them. Nara Matyera Maryada, which means respecting to any human. Sabhyatera Maryada, respecting civilized human. Raja Maryada, respecting our king or politician. Devata Maryada, respecting demigods. We are supposed to respect demigods. One time Srila Prabhupada was in Mayapur Dham and he was going on a morning walk and he pointed his cane towards a group of ants who were, going one after the other. Srila Prabhupada pointed towards those ants, asked his disciples, so when you see them, what do you think? Srila Prabhupada, you only said, you see how insignificant these ants are in comparison to humans' life. One crush, they will be dead. We are also so insignificant in comparison to demigods, so we should be respectful towards demigods. So, Devata Maryada. Vidya Maryada, respecting towards the learned person. Sadguna Maryada, respecting Brahmanas and Vaishnavas who are filled with good qualities. Varna Maryada, respecting a person in a higher Varna. Varna Ashrama Maryada, technically. A person in higher Varna or a higher Ashrama. And the last but not least is Bhakti Maryada. Somebody is in devotional life. So in any case, we are expected to offer Maryada to everyone. And Nectar of Instruction very nicely explains that when you see a Kanishta, you offer respects from your heart, offer obeisances from your heart. When you see a Madhyama, you offer your obeisances. When you see a Uttama, you associate with them, serve them, and learn from them. Of course, there are more details to this. But the point is, we need to have a fundamental culture of respecting everyone, every living entity. Sometimes we are insensitive towards other living entities. Sometimes we may harm plants, trees. Vaishnavas don't disturb them unnecessarily. Mrigari, after he got his transcendental blessings from Narada Muni, he couldn't even harm ants, insects, small creatures. So my fourth reflection is, and the last one is, that in our journey to Krishna consciousness, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj gives us a very strong warning that never consider yourself superior, never consider yourself as somebody who is accomplished and try to criticize others. Your spiritual life will be doomed. And in this purport we read that it will be so much doomed that person who has committed Vaishnava Ninda is pushed towards Kumbi Paka, that one of the toughest hell where they are cooked in the boiling oil and we have to suffer for several years. Next week, we are going to commence a series on uncovering the science of punishments in our Bhagavad Mahavidyalaya. So it's going to be a 12-session course every Wednesday evening US time. So where we are going to discuss about different types of punishments, atonements, and how Srimad Bhagavatam is encouraging us to completely cleanse the propensity from the root. So by we blaspheming, fault finding, offending a Vaishnava, we are trying to do something like a Hati Snan. As it is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 74th chapter, text number 40. Nindam Bhagavata Shrinvams Tat Parasya Janasya Va Tatopi Na Paiti Yasopi Yati Adas Sukrita Chuta. Anyone who fails to immediately leave the place where he hears criticism of the Supreme Lord or his faithful devotee will certainly fall down, bereft of his pious credit. Not maybe, shall be, can be, could be. Certainly fall down. In the purport of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 10, text number 25, Srila Prabhupada quotes, actually from Caitanya Bhagavata Madhya, text 22. He says, one who blasphemes a Vaishnava cannot be protected by anyone. Even if a person is as strong as Lord Shiva, if he blasphemes a Vaishnava, he is sure to be destroyed. This is the verdict of all Shastras. If one does not care for the verdict of the Shastras and dares blaspheme a Vaishnava, he suffers life after life because of this. We have several examples. Gopala Chappal is one wonderful example. And also Ramachandra Puri is another wonderful example. We have discussed their pastimes many times in our Chaitanya Charitamrita class. So let us all go very strong in our devotional journey, but steadily in our devotional journey. That is possible only when we are careful about this particular agenda of avoiding blasphemy towards a Vaishnava. So before we end the session, we'll quickly summarize the 4 reflections that we discussed today. We started off with explaining how in Caitanya Bhagavata, Vrindavan Das Thakura is referring to Mahaprabhu's statement, which is Anindaka Hoy Jai, Sakrit Krishna Bhaje, Satya Satya Muhitare, Udhari Lo Hele. Mahaprabhu says, anyone who is free from Ninda and constantly chanting the holy name of the Lord, I promise, I deliver that person. And we discussed 4 reflections. Number 1, the root cause of this blasphemy is about being proud. And we discussed pride in Mada, which means intoxicated, Drishta, which means impudence, and Uddhanda means pushing oneself forward. And we mentioned that this pride happens to be the fundamental reason of someone being an offender. Then we discussed about the different reasons of anarthas, and one has to be careful in the stages of anartha nivritti, because of past conditioning, past sins, one may offend, blaspheme. So we mentioned about sukrutota, duskrutota, apradota, bhakyadota as the different categories of anartha nivritti, different categories of anartha, sources of anartha, and how at anartha nivritti stage we need to be free from the effects of them. The third reflection we discussed are the 7 possible offenses, 7 possible offenses towards a devotee. One is to criticize him because of his bodily defects, criticize him because of his birth, seeing him from a material vision, envious of him, to offer advice to some senior devotees, to correct a senior devotee, and to subject him to a disciplinary action. And that way, even being angry with the Vaishnava, not being joyful upon seeing a Vaishnava, failing to offer obeisances to a Vaishnava, they are all different forms of Vaishnava blasphemy. And last but not least, we discussed about the solution or the important quality by which we can try to help ourselves is to learn to respect everyone. Offering respects towards every living entity is the way forward, especially to a practicing devotee. Let us learn to appreciate them for their surrender and their commitment to this process of Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada is very kind upon us. Krishna is very kind upon us. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very, very kind upon us. But all this kindness will be checked if we are not careful about a blaspheming of Vaishnava. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has just delivered Jagai and Madai, and it is a celebrations time. Sometimes when people who have known Jagai and Madai may not participate in the celebration, may think that this guy had been a rascal. So this is a forewarning to all of us devotees who may see our own family members, our own near and dear ones, our own friends from their pre-Krishna consciousness days. And that's the warning here, that once a person surrendered to spiritual master, surrendered to the holy name, he is cleansed and Krishna takes charge of that person. So let us all enjoy our Krishna consciousness by being respectful towards a Vaishnava. So please accept my respectful obeisances and forgive me for my offenses. Pancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sandubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. If there are any questions, comments, reflections, we'll be happy to respond.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Such a beautiful class, so much instructive class, so much instructions. Whatever the new sadhak, they have to careful about all these things, how it comes by pride and everything. You got a thing to, so this is the main thing. We should not have any time to anyone, any blaspheming, because and how it comes from that. So you explain about the from the mother, like intoxication, and from the arrogance, and then it passing the one step forward. One step forward, that oh, I am the superior, and you push the other persons down too much. So how it happens? So you explain everything in so details, Prabhuji. So many things and instructions. I don't want to just say everything about, and by chanting how all the impure things, whatever in our lives, in so many lives, it purified by the chanting only. And then Mahaprabhu says, the person they can come, whoever they never bless them to others, never make others the downfall, and like by chanting, Mahaprabhu says, I will deliver them surely. And so many things you explain in details. Never find fault in others, never blaspheme others, never consider ourselves superior than the others. Like all these things, so much instructive class. And you give so many examples, like Ramchandra Puri, like a Duryodhan, Yudhishthir Maharaj. So yeah, Prabhuji. And Prabhu, I want to know what you talk about the things because of previous sins, false ego, attachment of sense enjoyment, hatred, byproducts of devotion, something like that. So I missed some.
So the point that is explained over there is because of our uh, anarthas, because we are, even after taking up the Krishna consciousness, even if we are carefully, avoiding the, the pride aspect of it, the past conditioning may sometimes bother us. So one needs to be very careful. It is like saying that a person is affected with jaundice and he has taken some medication, and the jaundice can relapse if you are not careful. In the sense that when I am having Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, then I am entering to the stage of Anartha Nivritti. As I am getting cleansed and cleansed and cleansed, I should be very careful. So I was listening what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura is explaining as the different sources of anarthas, and one of them is past sinful activities. Some sins we have done, who knows, unknowingly, knowingly, we had committed so many sins. So I was mentioning there are 5 aspects under past sinful activities. One is our being ignorant is because of our past sin. Our being, having a false ego, having a materialistic conception, attachment, hatred, and absorbed in bodily nature. These are all because of our past sins. Even about over enthusiasm. That is why in Bhajana Kriya, I mean, that's slightly digressing to the topic, from the topic. In Bhajana Kriya, there is something called as Anishtita Bhajana Kriya and Nishtita Bhajana Kriya. Anishtita Bhajana Kriya means unsteady devotional life. So we have this unsteadiness, and in that unsteadiness, we may tend to, out of over enthusiasm, out of being, a nice devotee, we may tend to blaspheme someone. We may tend to commit Maryada Vyatikrama. So I was just trying to list that in our journey to Krishna consciousness, we should be very careful of these things. That's all.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, Prabhuji, do you have a time?
Yeah, sure.
Then,
Are there any questions?
so, devotees. So, dear devotees who have any question or realization, can you go ahead?
Shamachandra Prabhu, you can go ahead, please.
Hare Krishna, dear Ramgiri Prabhu. It was such a wonderful, good fortune of mine to have attended your class today after such a long time. Very nourishing and purifying. Thanks a lot. You covered complete length and breadth of the various scriptural aspects which one needs to imbibe for becoming a very good Vaishnava. In fact, my mind went to this great devotee called Fakir Mohan Prabhu. When I met him several years back in 2002 in Dandabanga Leela Bhumi. And such a great soul, a great associate of Srila Gaur Govind Swami and also Srila Sripad Maharaj. He would just offer obeisance to everybody. I mean, despite being in such a higher position, he would just voluntarily offer obeisance, from his heart, mind, body, everything. And so many points came out. You were churning very nicely, uh, you know. So I was just reflecting upon some of those great personalities in the process, and also recalibrating myself. How every step we can fall down, we can make a mistake, and thinking ourselves to be superior. Whereas in reality, we have seen a person who is getting more and more advanced. He thinks himself to be lower and lower than everybody else. That's why he has no problem in paying obeisance to everyone. So wonderful class, Prabhuji. And it was like, as I said, recalibrating and refocusing, and it always helps to grow in spiritual, to make advancement in spiritual life by knowing all these things. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Shamsundara Prabhu, for all of you. You all, may know who Shamsundara Prabhu is a father of Amarendra Prabhu. And I know Shamsundara Prabhu for the past probably 25 plus years. He has been my elder brother all the while. And when I came to Mumbai, it is their family who had given us, shelter. I never even knew anybody in Mumbai, no Hindi, no relatives, no friends, and no family. And trust me, I would, want to say here with all the humility that, I used to go to their house in Thane, Maitri Towers. I still very vividly remember. And that time Amarendra and Arjun Saka used to be small, young school-going boys. So we had a very strong bonding, and I'm so happy, Shamsundara Prabhu, that you gave some kind words. I was a bit nervous when I saw you in the class, because now that you are a celebrity in ISKCON, we are just still the same old Ramgiridhari here. So I'm very happy that as a family, we all have grown and still around in the Vaishnava Association. And if I can also say this, it is only because of Shamsundara Prabhu and his family, of course, Jagan Mohini Mataji, his sister. I got the personal association of His Holiness Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj, whom I consider as one of my Siksha Gurus. And personally, I have learned what we discussed. I have never seen in my personal life, at least I must have had, significant association, not as much as, they all, but whenever I've seen, I've never heard once Maharaj blaspheming, telling ill of anyone. It is one of his great qualities. A scholar is up there, and, even within the politics of ISKCON, within the administrative structure of ISKCON, Maharaj used to remain very, very humble and exemplary. So thank you so much, Shamsundara Prabhu, for your, kind appreciation.
Thank you, Prabhu. You are always the role model for all the youth. I used to dream that my children should become like you, in your earlier preaching days, and follow your, nice footsteps, the way you were doing kirtan, and you were, engaging your friends, your school friends. You made so many of them devotees. So we used to dream that our children should do and emulate your example. And by the mercy of Sripad Maharaj and all the other Vaishnavas, somehow we are able to contribute somewhere. So thanks a lot. It's my good fortune. I just happened to see the message today, and I said, oh my God, I have to attend. It's morning here in Seattle, and we just flew in from Atlanta last night. And so very, very grateful to you, Prabhu. Thanks a lot.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Shamachandra Prabhu, for giving your wonderful association in Bhakti Sangha. Very, very grateful to you. Thank you so much, Ramgiridhari Prabhu, for the excellent session. As always, churning out the verses so wonderfully and giving out the heartfelt realizations that you always have. Really appreciate your classes. And as everybody said, you have almost covered the Madhurya Kadamini while talking about different anarthas and Nishtita Bhakti and Anishtita Bhakti. So thank you so much, Prabhu. I just have to make one announcement before devotees start leaving. that Ramgiridhari Prabhu has, very gracefully agreed to give sessions on uncovering the signs of punishments, which is actually from the 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And this whole sessions, 12 sessions, Prabhu, I believe, and they are free of cost, but you still have to register. It starts on September 4th, every Wednesday from 8 to 9 p.m. EST, evening time. We will be having the class. For India, it is 5:30 to 6:30 a.m. every Wednesday, and for India, definitely it will be Thursday. So please do register. This is from ibvna.org. I will be sending out the poster and the link, of course. But please do register and have this wonderful association of Prabhuji. So thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Yes, we still see the raised hand from Shivani Mataji. Shivani Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanwad Pranam. Thank you for a very beautiful class. I just had one question. Like my kids, my family is not in Krishna consciousness, but earlier when they were a little bit younger, I had them do deep dhan and, as much as I could. But at this time, they're not in Krishna consciousness. And sometimes, like whatever something happens and if I'm angry with them or I'm upset with them for some reason, and I say some things to discipline them. And then I think, I don't know if I'm doing any aparadhs or I'm crossing the line. What should I do in that case?
I guess the whole agenda of this topic of blasphemy is about the willful defaulters. Those accidental, conditioned because of conditioning. So that is why every day we have this culture in our Vaishnava tradition to offer Guru Puja as well as Vaishnava Pranama. In Mangalarati, we offer Vaishnava Pranama and everyday Guru Puja. This is to asking for forgiveness. As I always say, 4 qualities are extremely important for us to very closely, carefully watch out for. Number 1, being respectful. Number 2, being grateful. Number 3, ready to ask for forgiveness and also ready to forgive someone. And last but not least, being humble. If we do not have these 4 qualities, then we will have a bumpy ride. We will not be able to smoothly, perform our devotional life. So this is a spiral, but as I said, by just having this gesture, Prabhupada writes in Teachings of Queen Kunti, in one of the purports, he writes that if somebody is repenting for his mistakes just by the act of paschatap, just by the act of feeling sorry, feeling, not saying, the feeling sorry, he is freed from the evil effects. There are, they may have to still do certain corrective course of actions, but just feeling that feeling of remorse, feeling of repentance is very good. That is why in our Vaishnava tradition, we always have this mood, the ethos of Vaishnava tradition around these 4 qualities: respectful, grateful, offering, ready to forgive someone and also ready to ask for forgiveness and also being humble. So this happens to be a very you can go on adding more and more qualities, but they're all very highly interconnected. That is why Vaishnava qualities, Vaishnava relationship is based on Vaishnava qualities. Vaishnava qualities is based on his understanding about the science of Krishna consciousness. As Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj has written in the purport, he has written a very profound statement. He says that Sarva Mahaguna Gana Vaishnava Sharire. All good qualities are present in the body of a Vaishnava. He says in the body of a Vaishnava. What is speak of, the life of Vaishnava, behavior of Vaishnava, consciousness of Vaishnava. So I guess, when we are feeling sorry or remorseful, or even, ready to ask for forgiveness, I guess Krishna will be very kind. The whole series that we are going to discuss, even though the title is a bit creepy, it's not about Krishna consciousness is not a punitive process. Krishna consciousness is a very merciful, sublime process. But punishment is something that we will, we are going to discuss them in a elaborate manner, in terms of why even punishment exists. So it is something that for our purification, different levels and different gradations. So hence, accident, inadvertent, unknowingly committed acts, or when they are, when you feel sorry for them, they are forgiven. Am I making sense, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji, please pray for me that I can imbibe humbleness in me and have more control over, what I'm speaking and what I'm saying to them, because they are, after all, part and parcel of Krishna. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Dhanup Pranams.
One of the secret for us to imbibe these qualities is to always be surrounded by devotees who have these qualities. Why we should yearn for sadhu sangha? Why we should yearn, like, Shamchandra Prabhu was mentioning about this Fakir Mohan Prabhu. I'm not sure how many of you had the good fortune of seeing him. Is a very, very senior, Vaishnava. Gaur Govind Maharaj used to consider him, very senior, because he had a personal relationship with Bhaktivinoda Thakur days and stuff like that. So the idea was that their just conduct, just by looking at them, just by being with them, we will be influenced. Like the way we discussed that, being in the surrounding of criticizers, we will become a critique. Surrounded by Vaishnavas who are humble, we will inculcate humility. So all the best. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dhanup Pranams.
Any other thoughts? Otherwise, we can end the session.
Okay, Prabhuji, I think so. There are no more questions. We can end up here. So, Yashomati Mataji, you want to end?
Sure, Mataji. So thank you very much, Prabhuji, for this enlightening class and very beautiful, very nurturing class to us today. And we are very, very grateful to you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to your services, Prabhuji. We look forward to your association again in future. And if nobody have any question, and if your permission, Prabhu, shall we
Bhajan
end the
Seva,
call?
Prabhuji, Koti Koti Dandavat Pranam. Please forgive us. Bhajan Seva.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll sing a small bhajan because
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Sukha Sagar Mataji has asked. We'll sing a small bhajan. I hope you all had a wonderful Janmashtami. So we will sing song by Rupa Goswami, Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande. It's a song by Rupa Goswami. I'll just copy the link for the pleasure of all of you to follow. I sang this song before, but I'll just sing it again. I'll read the translation first so that we can meditatively sing. O Lord Krishna, I am offering a prayer unto you. Please let the bee of my mind be offered the nectarian honey of your lotus feet. Although Brahma in full samadhi cannot catch a glimpse of even a ray of the effulgence from the tips of your toenails, still, O Achyuta, having heard of the waves of your astonishing mercy, I long to receive your grace. O Madhava, although I don't possess even a sesame seed of bhakti for you, still, by your inconceivable power, which makes the impossible possible, please fulfill the desires of my heart. Hey Sanatana, because your lotus feet are filled with such wonderful rasa, that the bee of my mind always reside unwaveringly in that nectar, which puts everything else to shame, for they are the essence of all sweetness. This is my only prayer. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande. Manam Manasa Madhukaram Arpaya Nijapada Pankajam Karande. Manasa Madhukaram Arpaya Nijapada Pankajam Karande. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande. Yadyapi samadhishu vidirapi pashyati natavana kagramaricim. Yadyapi samadhishu vidirapi pashyati natavana kagramaricim. Idamichami nishamyata vachutam tadapi kripadhutavicim. Idamichami nishamyata vachutam tadapi kripadhutavicim. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande. Bhaktirudanchati yadyapi madhava natvai mamati lamatri. Bhaktirudanchati yadyapi madhava natvai mamati lamatri. Parameshwarata tadapi tavaditam Durgata Gatana Vidatri. Parameshwarata tadapi tavadika Durgata Gatana Vidatri. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande. Ayam Vilolata Yatya Sanatana Kalita Bhutara Sabaram. Ayam Vilolata Yatya Sanatana Kalita Bhutara Sabaram. Nivasatu Nityam Ihamritanindini Vindan Madhurimasaram. Nivasatu Nityam Ihamritanindini Vindan Madhurimasaram. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande. Manasa Madhukaram Arpaya Nijapada Pankajam Karande. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे। जय कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम। जय गौर निताय जय गौरानिताय। जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद। निताय गौरा हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल। श्री राधा श्याम सुंदर भगवान की जय।
So nice prayer, Prabhuji. You sang very beautifully. So good. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Koti
Prabhuji.
koti dandavat pranam. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Okay.
Dear devotees, so Prabhuji, remember?
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhasya.
Patita
Patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo
अनंत
नमः।
कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। जय प्रभुपाद की जय। श्री चैतन्य भागवत की जय। हिज ग्रेस रामगिरधारी प्रभुदास जी की जय।
Thank
हरे
you,
कृष्ण
Prabhuji.
प्रभुजी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, dear devotees.